G'day, g'day, g'day. Welcome to Aussievision. This is Craig here coming to you live from my bed where I am ridden with COVID. And tonight I am joined by the one, the only, the University of Melbourne's leading Eurovision correspondent. It is Hugo. G'day, Hugo. How are you?
Very well, mate. Good to see you.
Are you feeling phenomenal today?
Absolutely. I won't say it, but I'm definitely feeling it.
Well, I think we're both feeling phenomenal because we are talking about the Israeli entrant for Eurovision 2023 in Liverpool. It is Noa Kirel, who is one of the country's leading pop stars. Hugo, can you tell us a little bit about Noa?
Yes, she's making us all feel really bad for achieving so much at such a young age. She's 22. She's won every single year of the MTV Best Israeli Act since 2017, when she was just 16 or 17 years old. So literally every year since then, she's won that award for the MTV, which is a ridiculous achievement, an amazing achievement. She's been releasing music ever since then, gaining very big popularity throughout the country and now worldwide at Eurovision.
Save some talent for the rest of us. Save some awards for the rest of us, for God's sake.
Yeah.
So today the Aussievision team have been away and they have judged the jury potential and the televote potential of a number of entries, including Noa Kirel, who will be singing Unicorn, obviously. Let's kick off with the televote and see what they thought of this. So the Aussievision team have been away. They've sort of put their scores in, and as an average, they have rated Noa Kirel and Unicorn with 7.75. Now, for context, Hugo, because Hugo doesn't know these scores in advance, that is fourth in her semi-final and is the sixth highest televote rating overall given by the team. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a very good score. It doesn't surprise me at all. This song really screams televote. So it's a very good score. I think it has a good chance to get out of its semi-final, even though it is a very tough semi-final. But the song has so many moments that can lend itself to really good staging and some really memorable moments. So I think this is a televote song, if ever there was one. A good dance break at the end, similar to sort of slow-mo last year, but also some nice pop hooks as well to really make it into a somewhat of a song. But yeah, very good televote appeal on this one.
I tend to agree. I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit with this, just because I agree that I think it's got a lot of televote potential. But on the other hand, you mentioned moments and things like that, and it's almost as a song constructed, and I use the word constructed deliberately, with it's got the moments and it's got the bits it needs to, and it's almost been like constructed in a lab to appeal to Eurovision televote, with all the different songs sort of meshed together in a Frankenstein's monster. And I do wonder, will the televote respond to that? Are they going to notice that it's sort of a bit of a Frankenstein's monster of a song in that respect? And maybe they will go for it. Maybe there'll be a sort of a bit of backlash in that respect. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, on first listen, it's obvious that the song is very clunky. There's 4 or 5 different genres mixed in there. So whilst that does give many different types of moments for televoters to hang on to, also they could just discount it as, I don't want to say novelty because it's a good piece of music, but if people see and people hear the lyrics, the power of a unicorn, they might think, what is that? We don't know what they'll do for staging yet. Israel tend to do pretty decent staging. So I can see the televoters are really, really liking it, but I can also see that they might be a bit put off given the song composition and it being a little bit clunky at times.
I think you're right. And I think the point I'd make is that I sort of don't really know what to expect from this yet. It feels like something where the product we're going to get on the stage will almost be an entirely different beast from the studio track and the video we're watching right now, because it's so much clearly put together with the stage performance in mind. So, come rehearsal week, I might be like, this is going to go top 5. The televote's going to be obsessed with this. But right now, I'm kind of a little bit in two minds. I don't know which way it's going to go. And I think that probably leads us quite nicely into the jury portion of this, because as you mentioned, this is very much a televote song. So it will be interesting to see what the Aussievision team have given it on the other side. And on average, again, we've all been away and put in our scores. and the Aussievision team have rated this as 6.5 for jury appeal. Now, again, for context, that is around equal 18th overall in the sort of rankings. So it's nowhere near as high, but also 6.5 isn't like an embarrassing score either, I don't think we can say. So what do you think about that? Is that too high, too low?
Probably is about right. Like we were saying before, that the televoters might be put off by the clunky composition. I think the jury is so unpredictable as well, because on one hand, the pop hooks of this song are quite good. There's very good production overall of the song, and Noa is an established singer and pop star, so we know she's going to be able to sing the song live and do a good stage show. So all those points really point towards the jury giving good scores for it. But again, on the other hand, lyrics very basic / weird / what is going on. And again, the jurors might see the song, the production is very good for what it is, but the composition of the song itself as just very off-putting. And I can definitely see the jury scoring this well, but I can also see the jury's not scoring this well at all.
Yeah, again, hard to pick. I think we should always be critical of like, there's this image among the fans that like the jury likes ballads and the televote likes bops. And that's not true. The jury has historically been very happy to vote for certain types of up tempo number, and equally the televote likes ballads quite often. But I just don't know if this one is the sort of thing that the juries are going to go for. It really comes down to, like, as you say, very good singer, potentially very good dancer. We haven't seen that yet as to how they're going to put that forward. And those are things that juries like because they're sort of technical skills which they can assess. On the other hand, I'm going to go out and say I think this might have the worst lyrics of any song at Eurovision 2023, with the possible exception of Come and Smell Me Like an Animal. So if they're listening for that, and if they're listening sort of to compositional quality, I don't know how many points this is going to get. Like, I think there's a chance that this does that thing where it starts at the bottom of the scoreboard at the end of the jury rankings and then gets a big televote number that sort of sends her up to a respectable placing at the end. Any other last thoughts about this one? Do you like it personally? Are you expecting big things from it? Or are you still sort of feeling unsure what you think about it at this stage, Hugo?
I think a bit of option A, a bit of option B. I do really like it. At the end of the day, if, like you've just done, if you ask me, do I like it or do I dislike it? I would say, yes, I like it. As a studio track, perhaps underwhelming is not the right word, but perhaps I was expecting more, just given Noa is such a star already in Israel. So perhaps more of a Eurovision friendly song, I suppose. But again, like you say, I can totally see this going off in the arena, a lot of buzz on the ground, Noa as a pop star. To contradict that though, I can also see this being overshadowed by the other female bangers in the lineup this year, which we didn't talk about before, with televote appeal. I think there's only so many points to go around, and if you're looking at just even the first semi-final, and you've got her and Loreen from Sweden and Alessandra from Norway, just off the top of my head, it's a crowded field in there with female up-tempo solo singers. So this is going to have to do something on the stage to really set it apart, which it has the opportunity to, definitely, but it's just a wait and see.
And of course, that's before we add like Lazara and Maymula and Taya and Selena, etc., in the grand final. So there's a lot of competition for votes there. I think she possibly could come up on top of that. Like, I don't think this is a write-off by any stretch, but it's going to come down so much to how impactful this is as a performance, because that's what it is. As to my thoughts, you made a comment before that you wish this was a little bit more Eurovision, and I kind of wish this was a little bit less Eurovision, and I wish it was more just a little bit like her. I'd rather she just sort of did one idea which really spoke to something she was passionate about and she was into, and just pushed that really hard for 3 minutes, rather than trying to do this mishmash of like five different things which the team thinks is going to appeal to a Eurovision demographic. But with that said, I will say that this has very much been growing on me since it came out. I didn't listen to it much when it first dropped, but in the last couple of weeks, it has started to creep up my rankings and creep up my Spotify playlist a little bit. It's just fun. and like once you get the hang of all the different little bits, it is like it's kind of phenomenal, guys. I'm here for it. That is what the Aussievision team thinks about this, but you may have your own views. Let us know down below what you think of Israel and Unicorn this year, and whether you think we're going to be seeing her at the top of the scoreboard in the grand final. Thanks so much for joining me today, Hugo. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you next time, guys. Cheers.
See you later.
Bye.